Let's begin with a drum set. Listen for an explosive live sound. The snare should be crisp and the cymbals should ring.
I admire you when my living has a limit of desire to keep it going. I'm just knowing that my time with you makes a difference. I'm feeling when I vibe with you. They can't divide us two. We got a bond like 007, right? Even on Devil's Night, you show me what the heavens like. Go ahead and spread your light, though I can barely see. I know you're there with me, my personal therapy. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary, yeah. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary. You inspire me, look at you crazy when you tell me you admire me. Not an example for anybody to try to be. We'll call you bluff, but I know you wouldn't lie to me. Just a surprise to me, we got a bond tight, no one can come between. I have respect for you, you have your love for me, and that's enough for me. All I need to get by, let me be the method to your Mary J. Blige. So many times I felt defeated, you always know the right thing to say for when I need it. I wanna do the same thing for you to keep it even. You can call me anytime, you don't ever need a reason. I'm right here with you, never could forget you. All the things that we've been through, everything we went through, hey, none of it was simple, but I'm right here with you. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary, yeah. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is now 8:01 a.m. You are listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Yes. Can you feel it, Aurorans? I know you can. I know that you feel less frozen than you did yesterday. The temperature is it's definitely manageable out there. You don't need gloves. You don't need long johns, but if you still wear long johns like I do, kudos to you. We have a great episode for you today. We have the news you love. We also have guests in the studio with us. We have Shivani and Garrett of Ninja Science Academy. How are you? Okay. Good to see you guys. So we're going to talk about all the activities Ninja Science Academy. Monica will give us today's headlines as well. But for the listeners, what's the genesis of Ninja Science Academy? How did you guys begin, and what exactly is the Academy?
Well, I've been teaching science to kids for 12 years now. I've taught over 20,000 kids. When they put all of the kids in the gymnasium with the principal and all the parents, they put someone on stage to blow stuff up and use dry ice and lasers. That's me.
You're that guy?
Yeah, so I've wanted to have my own science teaching company for a while, and I had the idea for the Ninja Science Academy, first of all, because the Science Academy doesn't have the same ring.
Right.
When you ask kids, do you want to sign up for the Ninja Science Academy, there's like a little firework in their brain. They're coming, So I want to teach science through the ninja mindset. You're interacting with the universe as a ninja because that's all you have to do. Your life is passing by every moment, and you're either aware and on point or you're not. So you can use science and martial arts to do that. So I had that dream, and then I met my lovely wife here, Shivani, who actually is a double black belt national champion in Taekwondo.
All right.
And so I found my ninja. So she teaches martial arts to kids, and I teach science to kids. And we're making the Ninja Science Academy, and we're training leaders to, step up next to us and train with us.
Awesome. What are the ages or age range for youngsters getting involved?
So for the Ninja Science Academy itself, it's 7 and up.
7 and up, okay.
However, our community that we're building, we are, the community gatherings that we're having, it's for all ages.
Right.
So we have mini ninjas,
okay,
stepping up, and then as soon as they're ready and they're 7, we can train them to be leaders in the community.
Oh, so if you're interested in being a ninja, this is your episode today. Now, you are a double black belt, as mentioned. What is your beginning in martial arts? How did you get started?
So I went to a boarding school in India when I was in 7th grade, and I had a coach out there who just saw potential in me right away, and he personally coached me one-on-one coaching from the beginning. So I was the captain of the school, and we competed internationally, nationally, and we trained pretty old school, which was kicking trees, training for 8 to 10 hours.
Right.
So
8 to 10 hours kicking trees.
There was a day where we did have to kick trees for 2 hours straight until there were blood on the trees.
Wow. Okay.
So pretty intense, building that discipline and that work ethic and that student mentality at a very young age, and it carried on. And when I came to United States, I tried out for the state team for Taekwondo.
Okay. So
I did karate in India and Taekwondo over here. So I'm a black belt for karate and then black belt for Taekwondo. And I competed 4 years in nationals in Taekwondo over here.
Quite impressive. Very cool. Hit the clap for that. I'm actually that's, yeah. Achieved, ladies and gentlemen, achieved. So when you are introducing martial arts and all of the programs in Ninja Science Academy, how do the youngsters take to it? Very smart that you put ninja with it and it has more of an appeal. But the activity, the physical dexterity, that's the word of the day. We did it. Dexterity. My man, we did it.
Got it.
Is that tough to build in kids who are novices, or do they take to it?
There are kids who are more predisposed to the Ninja Science Academy curriculum.
Okay.
We do pride ourselves on being able to pull the ninja out of anybody.
Okay.
We've had people who don't want to take their shoes off and put their feet in the grass, who have then climbed the climbing wall at our house. So everybody's able to step up, and in the beginning, the best thing you can do is give the kids something very difficult, let them laugh at themselves and their friends for a second, and then let them run around and play together, and they develop this camaraderie because they did the difficult thing together, then they play together, then you bring them back and do the difficult thing again, and then they support each other.
The biggest thing that we always say is like just showing up to the mat, and that's just step one, like just show up and everything else can just fall into place.
Just show up and everything can fall into place. That's kind of a great motto for life in a way, isn't it? Life and your achievements, and with the very, doing what you want to do, or trying to figure yourself out and go about your goal. Just show up. Sometimes you're not ready.
Yeah.
What is ready, right?
Right.
Yep. So, and for how many years have we had the academy now?
So we just met like
less than a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Ninja Science Academy has been around. Yeah, really, its genesis, you could say, was October 27th.
All right.
2020.
Yeah.
So, the day we met.
Nice. Now, Gary, you are a musician. You play, and you do martial arts. I'm interested to know, with both areas that you're both kind of, separately professional in. Because do you do martial arts?
No, I'm a blue belt taekwondo.
Okay, all right. So
I hear about it from time to
time. It seems like there's a great harmony with it.
Yeah.
Do a lot of things, is it possible for a lot of rather competing elements of life to flow together so well? Is harmony able to be captured in many places?
It's the way. Yeah. Everything that we exist in is based on electricity and magnetism during that exact dance, electromagnetism. The magnetism goes down, electricity goes up, and they meet in the middle, and they make this wave. And that's what all this light is. That's what everything's based on, is that harmony.
I like you, man. I like this episode. The time is 8:08 a.m. Okay, we also have the news that we talked about before the show about February 6th.
Yes.
What's happening on that particular day?
So the day before February 6th, we're actually having Ninja Science Academy leadership training program.
Okay.
Where the leaders of our community, we're all getting together and training for 12 hours.
Okay.
From like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we're training in all aspects from yoga, science, martial arts, and how to be a leader in a community.
Okay.
We're just capturing all of that in those 12 hours and giving the people in our community an opportunity to be leaders the very next day, which is February 6th.
Aha!
So that's
great.
the community gathering where our leaders will put on a performance and lead the community in, sharing the light and the love and just raising the vibration of our community all put together. So
Vibrations. I like that. Okay. So it's 8:09 a.m. I want to just briefly. I want to read some of the things at the gathering for all ages on the 6th, because I find them very fascinating as well. Sound healing, live music, drum circle, song circle, art, rainbow medicine food, which caught my ear and eyes immediately after seeing this. Movement and breath work, ninja training, science workshops, ecstatic dance, prenatal and baby yoga. Movement and breath work. Talk about that. What is it, and how important is it?
You want it?
sure. So movement and breath work really ties together with the 8 limbs of yoga, where we talk about first being able to like move our body, and then getting comfortable in your body where you actually can sit. And once you're able to sit, then we start working on our breath. Mm-hmm. And once we start working on our breath, we start removing all distractions, which are like all our 5 senses, like bringing ourselves into center, which gives us the main focus of meditation, which is pure contemplation without any distractions or any past conditioning thoughts.
Okay. What are the benefits of meditation, and do you recommend more people meditate?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The benefits of meditation are multiple fold. First of all, if you meditate and really practice meditation, over time, if someone scans your brain, you will have a larger prefrontal cortex. You know, your brain will grow in size, and congratulations to you. But the real score here is that we're always constantly lost in thought, and it is so easy, in fact, it's normal to think that you are the thought that you're currently having. You know, whatever that thought is, that's who you are in that moment. And you can detach from that and become an observer of that thought. And then you're at a whole second level, your intelligence looking at intelligence. And you can learn about yourself as well as let go of thoughts that you don't really want to identify with. You don't want to be that person? Guess what? You don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The power of the mind is fascinating. And this is more of a thought than a statement right now, but it appears to me that a lot of people have power or powers that they either didn't realize they had, didn't understand they had, or maybe didn't even fully exercise, right? And maybe they took it to what they thought was their limit. What do you think about that? Like I said, that wasn't a clear question, but opine.
It's a good question, and actually, I don't know if you know Don Juan or Carlos Castaneda.
I do.
A man of knowledge has 4 enemies, and one of those enemies is becoming complacent. You know, once you get to be a man of knowledge, then you can go, look at me, I did it.
Right.
And that's why it's so important to show up on the mat. Because when you are a man of knowledge, if you show up on the mat and do your poses again, you're going to find, oh, wow, I had no idea I could straighten my hips out in this posture.
Right.
You know, and that is the way to keep it fresh, is you keep doing your practice and you watch it deepen. And by just that sheer fact, you know you're not at some end point yet.
Right. This man is dropping the mic, and the mic is just sitting there. The time is 8:13 a.m. Monica, if you would be so kind, please take us to a commercial. Give us about 3 local joints, and then we'll get back to our great interview here with our friends of Ninja Science Academy.
All right, good morning. Here are your local headlines. Real news, real people, real stories, 100% Aurora. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our content. There you can also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. The Neighbor Project is hosting a virtual series of money management programs for Black History Month on many dates in February. The series is for anyone looking to set and meet financial goals. There are 3 workshops available. A certificate of completion will be awarded to all who complete the workshops. The certificate will also get you a cool gift courtesy of the Neighbor Project. And I'll be sharing those registration links in our chats. Today, January 27th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m., the Virtual Parent Cafe will be taking place online via Zoom. This event is hosted by the Kane County Health Department and Be Strong Families. Come discuss the joys and challenges of parenting with fellow families and parents. Awesome. And we shared the flyer to our Facebook page. Our friends of YWCA Metropolitan Chicago are now enrolling for early learning programs for adults and children. Year-round, full and half-day programs with meals are available for children from birth to 5 years old. For parents, child care assistance, computer training, and career services are available as well. These programs are designed to help. The flyers in English and Spanish will be shared to our social media platforms, and for more information, you can contact any of the censors located on the flyers and let them know you heard about it on Good Morning Aurora.
Much, Monica, much appreciated. Jennifer Ryan Mayton, good morning. Happy National Chocolate Cake Day. I like that. A little bit early for a slice, but I'd take one around 1 p.m. Deb Sturgis, Maria Chirito, Aisha Saxon, Josue Pais, Judge Bianca Camargo, and Addie Rubio. Good morning, all you great people. Josue Pais said deep. Yeah, we've had some deep aspects already and talked about some deep things. I do kind of I want to stick on the motivational aspects, what we're talking about with people and understanding their energies. What, in your opinions, what's the power and the impact of a person realizing their energies and their talents, does that attribute to health in any way?
I think you start to treat yourself better
Okay.
when you find the thing that you were made to do, because you feel better about yourself.
Right.
You know, it's not like a confidence boost. That's a cheap way to say it. You know, self-actualization is the top of Maslow's hierarchy. You know, everything else is kind of taking care of your biology. But once you get up to like the psychology thing, that's what makes us special. Is the fact that we have this psychological conscious experience. So finding the good in that is like that's the final thing. You know.
Have you found your collective goods in that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We really do feel that. So I think we always say like our story, like how we met. We met up showing up to the mat. So I was doing an event for sound healing, and he was going to a yoga class, and that's how we met. So,
Perfect.
Putting in his daily practices, and I'm doing my daily practices, and like serving the community. And like when we met, it was pretty much like a whole and a whole, like meeting together. So we naturally were able to create this atmosphere that was just able to do a quantum leap with our life.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time it seems like I'm not good at something, she just happens to be good at it.
So the timing was right. Because using it's not a metaphor anymore, it's real. Using the slogan and the model that you both showed up to the mat. You both showed up to the mat, and then this is the result.
Yeah, and she had never been to that yoga studio before, and it was a weird time of day for me to go. I couldn't go to the normal 3 p.m. class. I had to go. If I was going to go, it had to be at this 10 a.m. time, and she just happened to be there, and it was like, cool, you guys get to be together because you both showed up today.
What are the benefits of yoga? We talked about the benefits of meditation. What are the benefits of yoga?
So yoga is a lifestyle. Yoga means union. So that just means like connecting in all aspects of life. So the benefits of yoga is you're able to create your whole. And you it's a tool given to you where if you use this as a lifestyle, you're able to make this entire aspect into what you want. So so it's pretty much like I said, like it's a lifestyle. So it's not just one thing, it's this.
Well, and so the Eightfold Path of Yoga it starts with.
Hold on, young man, watch.
We have our 3-year-old here too.
So the Eightfold Path of Yoga starts with how you treat the outside world. That's the first part. So you got to be nice, don't steal stuff. Okay.
Right.
The second part is how you treat your inside world. You got to be nice and don't lie to yourself. And then it goes on to postures. Perfect your vehicle, move your body, get it in good shape, and then you get on to the breathing, the meditation, the lining up of your mind to find pure consciousness. And at first, it's not the final step of pure consciousness, because the first thing is like, oh, is this pure? And it's gone. You only taste it for 1 second, and now you're at level 6. Level 7 is learning how to get it and really hold on to it for more than just 1 second. And then level 8 is just being there and comfy for the rest of your life.
So what's the 5 to 6 look like? How do I identify, is that pure consciousness? Is that it hanging up by a thread up there? How do
Go.
You have to show up at the mat, and you're going to be going, oh, I'm meditating. This is great. This is great. This is great. And then eventually it'll be like, oh, I haven't been meditating this whole time. I just had my first taste of silence. And you'll know it. You'll know it.
They put like proper words to it, which is like withdrawing senses. So when you're withdrawing your senses, you're removing all distractions. So it's kind of like what we talked about in the beginning, where I was talking about you learn how to sit, then you learn how to breathe, then you like through your breath. If you've heard of Wim Hof, that's like one of our main gurus. He talks about being able to, hot or cold, pain, pleasure, you're able to stay still regardless of what's going on around you.
Right.
And then once you're able to do that, then you're actually able to like sit at a point of contemplation, which is pure contemplation without past conditioning. So past conditioning is the part where we talk about like your whole life, everything that's going on.
Right.
You know, your like just how you grew up, all these stuff, everything is going to come up. And it's going to come up like, oh, when I was little, this is how I was treated. And,
right.
you know, all this stuff. And then you start removing like this identity of self, and you start seeing yourself as one. And that's when they say like all is one, and you start seeing not as like, I'm Indian, you're African American.
Right.
You know, we're like, we become one.
Right, we're humans.
Exactly.
Right.
And like even past that, we start seeing ourselves as energy, and we're able to connect with everyone and everybody and everything. So when we start just creating this world where you are able to be this pure light.
Okay, so here's my next question then. What is preventing us, the collective, humanity, what is preventing us from really seeing, identifying, and understanding that that is the way, the better way? Why isn't everybody choosing that or understanding that or, you know what I'm saying, living that? What's stopping that?
Well, the answer is not like a really nice one, but it is a simple one, and it's entertainment. We are inundated with this easy, good feeling everywhere. You know, so you have to say, I am going to stop giving my focus to this, and I'm instead going to focus just on this blank slate. You know, even when I say it like that, it doesn't have the same draw as it did when we were talking about it a second ago.
Right.
But if you think about it, entertain, that word tain is also in contain, to like grab and hold on to. And entertainment is really just grabbing your focus and holding on to it for a specified period of time. You know, what makes it entertainment is you are conceding to let that happen. You say, okay, you have my you have freedom to take my will and hold on to it for a little while, and I say it's good, and I'm here to say it's not good. You know?
Right.
There's all kinds of forms of entertainment that leave you worse off. You know, you were saying you love to read. That's a form of entertainment, and I think that leaves you better off because you have to do the dreaming of the words.
Right.
You read the words and you make the dream.
Yeah.
Whereas when you watch something, it gives you the dream wholesale, and you become much more a casual observer. You know?
Right. And plus, I didn't mean to cut you off. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
And plus, unfortunately, with what I'll call right now artificial entertainment, when you're receiving the message, whatever it is, whether it's cops or whether it's the horror movie, they're giving you the energy. So they're making you scared in your house from Jason or Freddy. They're making you anxious as Susan Sarandon walks down the hallway. Will she get killed or not? That's not. It's artificial. That's not you.
Yeah.
Right? That's not me reading the book and make Jurassic Park. I'm now looking at the animals and the foliage and the mosquitoes. Yeah, I don't. So before we started, Monica and I were talking here, and we're talking about music. I like music, but when I'm at home, I have periods of not listening to music at all. Sometimes I just have absolute silence. The TV's not on, no nothing. Now I might answer a couple emails. Who knows what I'll do with that time of silence? But that's not necessarily meditation, though, is it?
No.
Okay.
It can be meditative.
Okay.
You know, I think that's the difference. You want meditation to retain its strength. You don't want to mess with the word at all. You're either sitting down with the intention to meditate and meditating, or you're doing something else.
So that's like the part right before meditation, which we kind of skipped on, which is concentration. So concentration is the one where you set intention, which is you start something and you finish it. So like I wake up, I make my bed. So that's, I started something and then I finished it, so I'm making my bed. Or if I eat, I, take a plate, I eat, and then I clean my plate and put it away.
Right.
So that's like a whole form of concentration where you're focused and you're being present. And that comes before meditation.
Right.
So intention, like setting intention is the most important thing, because then you're becoming aware of everything that you're doing in that time period.
Right. And just a small aside on having like a nice healthy mind is you should set yourself up with a couple tasks in the morning that are very simple, like cleaning a plate and putting it away and making your bed, and just do them, because then you'll have this positive momentum of 3 completed tasks.
Right.
And it is a little bit like when you take a cold shower, at first you're about to turn the handle and you're like, oh, this is going to be terrible. And then you turn it and you have whatever response you have to it. And then you turn it off and you go, I did it. I did it. And that is better than not doing it every time.
So hitting small goals.
Yes. That cold shower thing. Once upon a time in life, I was in a location where the water had to be made. And when it got underneath a certain level, it would turn cold. And then when it got onto a certain level, they would shut it off. It was on a boat in the Navy. So cold showers still to this day. I gotta get my right. I gotta get my level up there, because I cannot still to this day. It is like, yeah, it's painful. It is it's tough.
So Wim Hof says, like, you know, that's why cold is the teacher, because you never get used to the cold.
Right.
Like, you know, it's gonna hit you every single time.
Yep.
So when we're blessed because we kind of live in a cold environment.
Yeah.
And we can actually use the cold as a tool if we allow it, and use this time period to train. So.
Cold is powerful. Cold does get to the bone. One does, yes, it does.
Well, and I'm constantly surprised by how much the body can stand, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're outside and it's freezing cold, you can take your shirt off and think you're going to die, but if you just go for a jog, you will live.
Yep.
You will live as long as you're jogging.
Yes,
and
you will.
that's amazing.
Movement and breath work. So.
What are the benefits of fasting?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the mental benefits are similar to the cold shower, in that, like, you do this thing that you think is going to kill you, and you find out that, oh, I actually feel way better than I did eating. You know, I've done 2 5-day fasts, and both times I felt like 5 years younger after it, for one. And then I felt just stronger, like my will was stronger, and I feel like my will is strong already. So it's kind of like that showing up on the mat and going, oh, I guess I can get stronger.
It built a discipline, which is the biggest thing.
Right.
And then not making food the main priority,
Right.
And giving our digestive system a rest, which, you know, if we give our digestive system a rest, then it gives our brain opportunity to be more creative in other aspects of life. So
Absolutely. When the brain is not so, and I'm not going to describe this with any of the alacrity that you folks have, but I've just, in my own personal life, I've noticed that, like, when the brain is clear, or when you knock out those mundane tasks, if you do the thing that if you get the, oh gosh, I have to do that, if you get that out the way, you will discover that, oh wow, I got 4 more hours now to do whatever the heck I want to do with. And that's powerful.
yeah.
That'll make you do all kinds of things. You could start taking lessons to play an instrument, anything.
Yeah.
You can. And I think a lot of problems, and this is going into a question, I think a lot of our issues as humans are here rather than tangible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a here thing and a here thing. What do you think?
When you have a thought, you're using electricity in your brain, and it takes electricity to fund a thought. So every single brain is a storm of electricity. And if you have a thought that is second guessing yourself, it takes electricity away from your main consciousness to fund that thought that weakens your overall state, you know? So the best thing to do is clear up all that stuff, and then you can have a thought, and most of the original electricity can get to the end point, and then you get your best, most powerful thought.
Why do people stop on their journeys? Why do you think? This is an opposite opinion question.
Well,
Why do you
actually,
think
that's our job with Xenodyne Holistic Healing, is to find the blocks in people's journeys and help them remove them.
All right.
And that's like the whole part that we were talking about, setting intention, like whatever you start to finish. And that's kind of our goal, is like you keep showing up even when you're not feeling good, not wanting to do it. You keep showing up, show up to the mat, and rest will fall into place. Even when you feel like this is the worst, it's going to come back around and you will feel the whole again. So
In your personal lives, have you, and on the journey that you're presently on, have you had those moments of potential doubt. Not even doubt. Potential mild skepticism. I say potential because I'm confident that you're both driven to what you want to do, and you're not going to let anything stop you. So, what do you have? Has that ever come across like?
Yeah. Well, I just recently did with like getting COVID right, like before the event was gonna happen, and you know that was a huge toll on, like, you know, usually mentally I'm super strong, but when the body starts to, like, you know, not go with your mind,
right,
you start like doubting, and you start like, you know, feeling like, am I going to reach that goal that I set for myself?
Right.
And in that moment, it's the part where we talk about like showing up to the mat, and I feel like the day I came back to like my full self again is when I came back to my rising ritual that we do every day. So we spend every morning with movement, breath work, and vocal warm-ups to like start our day up. So that day I was just like, okay, we're gonna just start, and even if it's just me showing up at my weakest point, like still coming to the mat, rest of my day just turned around, and I saw like I came back to health, and it was really just, again, like just showing up to the mat.
Right.
Yeah, I've second guessed other projects, but never the Ninja Science Academy. It's too central to the reason I think I'm here, you know. Yeah, it would be like having to rethink my whole life at this late date.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I find that very interesting. See, ladies and gentlemen, I told you, it's a family show. This is a family show. Okay, I want to, Monica, please take me to a brief commercial. Monica already had me at a commercial. All right, here we go. Just going to give a couple of quick pieces of information that's very important to you wonderful folks, especially you fans of our great libraries. The Aurora Public Library District will get $22,288 in pandemic relief funds from the Office of Secretary of State and State Librarian Jesse White. Statewide, Jesse White's office has awarded nearly $6 million to libraries through the funding to allow the libraries to expand access to their patrons. A total of about $5.7 million statewide provided funds for 211 academic, school, special, and public libraries, all of which received grants ranging from $5,000 to over $1 million. That's according to the Office of State Senator Linda Holmes. Quote, I applaud the library community in Illinois for their hard work as they continue to provide essential services during the challenging time for Illinoisans needing educational and job-seeking resources, close quote. Awesome. Now, that's the library. Here it is. There is another COVID-19 vaccination clinic coming up very soon. As you know, your great radio host and DJ, Monica, will be at the vaccine event taking place today. There are two. One is at Main Baptist Church. The second one is at Community Baptist Church as well. We will be there from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. State Representative Stephanie Kifwood and Alderwoman Patty Smith of the 8th Ward are hosting and partnering with VNA Healthcare on another COVID-19 vaccination booster and flu shot clinic, 2 to 6 p.m., February 9th at the Eola Road branch of the Aurora Public Library, 555 South Eola Road in Aurora. Those under the age of 17 must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian to get a shot at the event. Just like today's clinic, Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines and boosters will be available, as well as the annual flu shot. Anyone getting their second dose or booster should bring their vaccination card. While walk-ins will be welcome at the event on the 9th, organizers and individuals are strongly encouraged to register ahead of time at ildistrict84.com/events. The time is 8:35 a.m. Okay, so what does it take to be a ninja? What's it take? What's the starter kit? What's the first thing you need to be a ninja?
Student mentality.
Ooh, student mentality. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you can have the drive and the will and all that, but if you show up and you're all drive and no willingness to learn, then we can't do anything.
Right. Know-it-allism.
I like that. That could be the word of the day.
I've learned all I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Those seem like the kinds of things, the kinds of thoughts, and the kinds of attitudes that are counterproductive to being a ninja, but definitely being productive and helping out in life.
Yeah.
Because I feel our job as humans is to help others.
Yeah.
We're here to serve. That's just my, we're here to help other people succeed. Because humanity grows by all of us pitching in.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've come to see in life is that, because we spoke about stagnation. I think that was one of the earlier topics for the news. Stagnation combined with, I know how to do that. What else can you teach me? Those are just, they're bad. They're not good. I don't think a lot of youngsters have that, but that seems to be a trait that people pick up as they go through life and get older. People get cynical.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, part of it's probably just momentum. If you think of life as like a snowball running downhill, by the time you're, my age, you got a lot of momentum. You're going that way, and someone comes along and says, "Hey, can I tell you something?" It's probably much easier to just keep rolling right by him,
Yeah.
But we got a thing we say and I love your view of we're here to help people. I've thought a lot of things. I'm going to try and just sandwich them all together. Lean on me, for one, giving someone the opportunity, the song obviously, giving someone the opportunity to help you is a gift, and we say to Zen, as we're raising him, if you're not nice to the universe isn't going to be nice to you.
Absolutely.
And one of the nicest things you can do is let someone teach you.
Right.
You're going to say you're done, the universe has nothing left to teach you. That's not being nice to the universe.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about the universe. Let's stick in that vein, because some people. How can I say this? People believe that there aren't other things. We'll call them forces for this conversation. And nobody can pinpoint that. Because I pushed this old man down in the street, it's going to come back to me in some way. But it will.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
It will, and that's not really explainable. But how do you folks feel that the universe makes its presence felt in our everyday lives?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I mean, I think it's just like when we think about the fractal, how one thing happens at a small level, expands at a bigger level, and you can measure that with like any forces. So if you see it at a smaller level of just, I don't know, like...
Well, like a river. You step in a river and it seems like the river's the same river, but it's not the same river. You can't even step in the same river twice.
Right.
So everything that you do has a little butterfly effect, sometimes big, sometimes small. But the real thing is that all you have is your consciousness. And as you are working to clean up your consciousness, you get to move up in, let's call it, levels of order of being, and as you do things with the universe around you, you've done them, and they become impressions on you. So even if you push an old guy down the street and then you win the lottery and have like the happiest life ever, you live with having pushed that old guy down the street.
Right.
And that's a little tick against you, and you know that, So I don't think that it's as simple as you push somebody and then squash a piano fall. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's, but you do get to live in the universe that you create. We all want to live in a nice universe. And part of the helping other people is there's a selfish aspect to it. You want to live in a nicer universe, so it would be nice if everybody was happy,
Yeah, it's a selfish aspect, but for example, I'll use myself as an example. I was volunteering with many different organizations and things for a very long time because it made me feel good. I'm a single parent, so I share my time with my son, with his mom and everything like that. So if I'm alone or something, I would just volunteer because it would keep me out the house. I don't have idle periods of doing nothing. And like the people who I help need that help more than I do. And it made me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When COVID came, that activity ceased, along with everybody else's activities. So my inner peace was, well, there was none. It was chaotic. Now, everybody remembers being under quarantine at their homes at their early time, but I felt like I was under double quarantine because what had been taken from me was more than a job. I had lost that which made my soul feel good. So the universe, it's interesting because I think that we have to be strong enough to carry ourselves, because the universe keeps going. I think it's humans who don't understand our place in it. And I thought I had found my place before COVID. And when that was taken away, that's when I was like really, emotionally distraught. I wouldn't call it depression, but I was really emotionally distraught. I was like, I can't do anything. I can't even help other people.
That says a beautiful thing about you, actually. The thing that you cared most about losing was your opportunity to help.
Yeah, it really sucked. It really sucked. And that's when, so I went into my bathroom, because all good ideas come out of bathrooms, and made this show.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Really?
that's how it started. That's the whole.
There's your butterfly. Us sitting here, it could not have happened without that.
Now, we were talking about Emily as well before the show. So Emily and I, one day, many times, we had this conversation many times over coffee up there at Zenloft on that lovely couch right when you get to the top. I feel like, just in my own personal life, and Zenloft is the same thing for Emily, I believe. I feel like the universe has allowed us to have our peace and understand ourselves and grow ourselves and give us that mental and emotional dexterity on the condition that we continue to be that person or that place for others to do their thing. You know what I'm saying?
There's almost like a feedback loop because people value what you're saying and people will help you when you do what you're saying. So the universe kind of shows up in the form of other people and lifts you up.
Right.
Because I'm feeling that very much. Even you guys having us on the show feels like a reflection of like, oh yeah, you do the good things and people will go, that's good, I'll help you.
Absolutely, yeah. And people need, and what people really need is we can't change their life, right? We can't make them show up to the mat. They're going to show up if they want to show up. But for heaven's sakes, we can be that mat that when they do show up, like, we're here for you. We're here for you.
The opportunity is there.
Exactly. The opportunity is there. Like Zen shirt says, kindness makes the world go round. Shirt of the day right there. All right, the time is, thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. The time is 8:44 a.m. So what's coming up next? We talked about the 5th, going into the 6th. What else? What other initiatives do you guys have on the calendar?
So that's pretty much our main focus right now.
Okay.
But it is a yearly thing. This is this is a monthly thing. So every month there will be a leadership training on a Saturday followed by a community event on a Sunday. So there will be 10 more of 11 more, including the one coming up. And that's how we're going to really develop momentum this year.
And like build that consistency.
Right.
Yeah. So we're also going to have a Ninja Science Academy summer camp on. I'm part of a publishing collective called Broken Compass Publishing with my good brothers Ross Anderson and Ben Berger.
Shouts out! Oh yeah, shout out to the crew out.
We have 40 acres of land up in the Driftless region of Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's undeveloped. We just bought it a year ago, but we're going to be building structures on it. But the point is, we're having a Ninja Science Academy summer camp on that land this summer. So we'll be announcing those details probably during the March event.
Let's talk about the martial arts. I had a conversation with a friend of mine. One of the things that is it's not a hot button topic, but one of the areas of discussion, at least locally here, is that we need to, collective society, there's a push for people to get ROTC programs and anything that would steer or point kids towards the military out of high schools and schools. The idea and the premise behind that is that, the military chews you up and spits you out a little bit. People sometimes are worse off emotionally, mentally, and physically than they were when they went in. And it's taking some of the brightest minds in communities, traditionally marginalized communities, and taking that talent elsewhere.
Yeah.
Should and could martial arts fill that void?
Oh, I definitely think so.
Okay.
So just from my own experience, like martial arts has developed this character, and like the thing about martial arts is just like yoga, and it's one of the practices, it's a lifestyle, and it builds different characters like perseverance, self-control, courtesy, indomitable spirit, all these characteristics just by practicing, and how he was talking about the student mentality and having that respect between the student and the teacher.
Right.
Does this thing for you where it drops your ego and you're fully there and you're fully present, and it gives you a tool to steer your negative emotions and stay centered with your life.
Right.
So I think just by putting these practices in place and creating a new system, creating our new earth around these disciplines and these characteristics can really change how our society works. And we've seen these examples in the East where the martial art was developed just over and over. Like if we look at the East culture, like you'll see the discipline that every family like holds at a certain degree. And that comes from these Eastern practices and these Eastern methods. One more thing to it, like martial arts is really, like they say, like the practice that I had, it meant like the way of peace. It's always directed towards peace versus war. Right. So that's the biggest thing about martial arts, is that you build these practices not to fight, but to keep that peace.
There you go. All right. Now let's talk about books and the 5 levels of leadership. Tell us about that book, which we talked about before. The cameras were rolling and everything. You mentioned that is a good book to read.
That is definitely one of the biggest. So 5 levels of leadership, just to like walk down the 5 levels. The first one is position. That's the first level, which you make the decision that you're a leader and people follow you because it's the level 1 leader where like people follow you because you have the title and they have to.
Right. Oh, there's my boss.
Like that's my boss. Level 2 is permission, which is people follow you because they want to, because you have built that relationship with them. So level 2 is the relationship. Level 3 is the production, which means you're not just like this nice person or the nice guy, but people follow you because of what you have done for the organization. So you talk the talk, but you also walk the walk. Right. And level 4 is people development, which is where your selflessness comes in, and people follow you because of what you have done for them. Right. So developing people. So people development. And level 5, which is the pinnacle, and it's people follow you because of who you are and the life you live. And that's when you have an organization, you have a team, and you have leaders who have developed level 4 leaders. Right. So
you have a team of people who each have teams under that.
And when we, so just keeping those like 5 levels of leadership in mind, you understand that, anybody has an opportunity to become a leader. Right. And everyone can start at level 1 and work their way up to level 5. So there are steps, and it's easily tangible.
And one of the things that's driving the success of the Ninja Science Academy right now is as we do the leadership training, we are not only teaching how to be a leader, but we're open with everyone. We're not saying like, we're the leaders and the owners of the company and you guys can never be, if you outperform me at burpees, you can lead burpees next time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we are a group of leaders building this community and this curriculum together. So, I mean, there are people in the leadership training who have things that we don't, you know, like 20 years of yoga teacher training. Neither of us are old enough to have that, really, you know. So we are putting everyone's talents together and making a core solid curriculum, and we're giving people the opportunity to grow up these levels of leadership, and that has everyone excited and coming back and feeling like the self-actualization at the top of Maslow's hierarchy is just right over the hill, you know.
The time is 8:51. Let's try it this way. What's the good that has come out of the COVID era?
Well, we got married.
Shout out.
Yeah. This show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
A small dip in pollution for a little bit.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
There was a period there where all the factories in the world were like shut down for a second.
Yeah.
Like you could not twist oil magnate's arm to make them do that for any amount of money, you know. So that, and I mean, really, the whole world's been a little crazy for the last however many years. And the thing that I think that's good is we are all kind of going like, we do need to work together, right? You know, if anything, there is a spirit of like work togetherness now. There's one of my good lines from one of my songs is, they got us fighting over lies, so we can't organize.
Oh,
we got to fix all the damage done. We need to work together, or they've already won.
can we get that track and play that on the show sometime, man?
Absolutely, that'd be my pleasure. It's called Need Love.
Need Love. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's up, man. We got to work together, and this is just another wake up call in a long line of wake up calls.
I think that, and I specifically brought up asking about the good because I'm sure that everybody could think of the bad. That's
lists.
Right. That's the low hanging fruit. I think what's been good is that the invisible hold, the rat race.
Yeah.
That was life, right? I mean, I'll just use my own, wake up, get on the train, go to work, sit at the desk, do it all over again. That is shattered. It's gone.
Yeah, I know.
It's gone. People have been either emotionally or literally, they have been liberated.
Yes.
I think that's a good thing. I do. I see a benefit in that. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody caught that football and successfully touchdowned it. You know, they didn't turn it into, they didn't start an Ninja Science Academy. Maybe they didn't turn into a business. Maybe they're still in the flux of what they want to eventually get to. But I think that a lot of the invisible shackles, entertainment, all that was broken. And it made people. You had to do something. Now, what were you going to do?
Yeah.
Were you just going to go back to sleep for hours and not leave the house? Maybe.
Yeah, you know, who knows?
Or were you going to read that book? Were you going to try doing yoga? It gave people a mat. Maybe they showed up, maybe they didn't. But everybody got a mat.
Everybody got
That's how I feel. That's how I just, you know, I feel like
really
that.
good.
Everybody got a mat. Some people didn't get on it still. Maybe they'll never will. But some people, they got that mat like, you know what, I'm going to try. 2 push-ups today, 4 push-ups tomorrow, you know. That's just how I feel about it, man. That's just
that was
you know.
a really good one.
That's how I feel about it. I feel like people are more liberated or able to be liberated now. Because the energy in the universe is real, man. It really is real. And we've had this invisible shackle. I don't know much about Eastern philosophies or things like that, but I do know that there is a lack of following the leader down the path of just nothingness and sitting in this cubicle that a lot, like, I believe people live longer in Eastern cultures.
Yeah.
that'd be beneficial for Americans. I really think so.
Well, you said something that gave me a very wonderful crystallized vision. One of our brothers was talking about sweat lodges, and people still do sweat lodges. And the theory is that when you go in the sweat lodge, it's like a sacred space, and it is actually the exact same space as every other sweat lodge that's ever been done or ever will be done. It's almost like a portal, you know. And I was thinking about everyone got a mat. And the thing I want to say to all the listeners is like, there's always a mat just right in front of you waiting for practice. And all of us are the same. We're all humans. We're all the universe. We're all the same, doing the same thing on the same mat. And so when you do decide to take a step onto that mat, you know, we're all there with you. That's right.
That is right. So the time is 8:56. As we mentioned, we got something great coming on today, ladies and gentlemen. We have a vaccine event. We're going to wrap it up now. However, the show ends on a positive note. What is the message that you folks would like to present to the people of Aurora today to take with them on their Thursday?
Every single moment is an opportunity for practice. Forgive yourself if you realize that you're not on the mat, and smile and hop right back on it.
Concur. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a great discussion with Shivani and Garrett of Ninja Science Academy. February 5th, going into February 6th, is the Ninja Science Academy
leadership training on the 5th, and then a community event on the 6th,
which we have the flyer for, and we will share that on our Facebook page. I want to say thank you to Emily and Zenloft, friends for life. Take care of yourself and each other. That was awesome.